Welcome back. You're watching HFO TV.
Welcome back to HFO TV. I'm Greg Frick, partner at HFO Investment Real Estate. And today we have Angie Even of Save Portland Buildings to come talk to us and give us an update on the City of Portland URM unreinforced masonry building scenario that's been going on for 2 years now.
Actually started in 2014.
So longer,
5 years.
5 years that this has been going on with. Now there's been a lawsuit filed and there's been some rulings on the judge. So thank you again for coming. I know we've had you a couple times, but maybe you can give an update for people as to where are we. You know, it's mid-September right now. Where are we from where we were a year ago with this whole URM retrofit City of Portland placarding plan they were trying to get through?
Well, we've received a preliminary injunction from a federal judge.
Okay.
At this point, the city declined to appeal to a higher court. And they have not filed for an extension of this lawsuit within that court. So what we're looking at is the city attorney has promised the judge that they would repeal all of the placarding and contract and title encumbrance portions of the disclosure portions of the placarding ordinances. And through the summer, the promises were that would be done, but then the excuses started to come that they couldn't coordinate a vote.
So we had a group of building owners get together, file a claim against the cities trying to say this is, you can't require us to do placards. There's things you had to get recorded on title.
Yep.
The judge ruled in favor of the building owners.
He did.
And asked for this and told the city you need to repeal this. And
the city opted to repeal.
Right.
So they opted to repeal rather than advancing the case.
Gotcha.
And so when that happened, so long story short, the city has not
followed through on what they said they were going to do.
On the repeal. So yesterday there was a status conference with the city attorney, our attorney, and the judge.
Okay.
And the judge has ordered that the city have date certain that they're going to repeal that.
And this would be an official repeal from city council saying, yes, we voted to put this in.
Yep.
Now we're repealing it, as opposed to fighting this lawsuit to a higher court. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so October 23rd is the first reading, but what the judge has ordered is if city council fails to have that meeting on October 23rd, he verbally said that the two defendants, who are Mayor Wheeler and Commissioner Hardesty, will have to appear in person before the judge the next morning.
Wow, okay. Which is pretty unusual.
Very unusual.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the second reading is October 30th, and the same situation there. There's a court date already set for the morning of October 31st, and if they have not completed that repeal by October 30th, they will be summoned into court that next morning.
So in theory, we would think by the end of October, this will either have been repealed by the city council on their own, or they're going to get the heavy hand of the judge saying you didn't follow the you didn't follow the ruling that we put in place over the summer, and you keep dragging it out.
Yeah, well, what the judge has the option of doing is consolidating it to a injunction.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and just clearing it that way. But the city council had promised that they were going to do it the other way, but for some reason they're stalling.
And then I know some other things have come out, such as Wheeler and Hardesty will have to be, like you talked about, will have to appear. I think legal fees, they lost on that regard too.
Yeah, the judge has ordered that the legal fees be paid by the city.
Okay.
The city is trying to whittle those down. We'll see how that turns out. Unfortunately, I think it was Nick Fish came out recently and said, the city's tired of paying legal fees.
Well, maybe they should pass legislation that brings up on legal fees.
Well, yeah, and if you lose, you have to pay the legal fees, when the easy and cheapest way for the taxpayer is just to talk to the people that are being affected and work it out. Yeah.
And then there's also, I know back in the original, there was a new committee. We've talked about this before.
Yep.
So there's a new kind of committee to address this, and so what's the status of that? Is that in place? Is it moving forward?
Well, the new committee was supposed to be started a year and 2 months ago.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be actually completed July of this 2019. But again, the city has not followed through on what they said they were going to do. So now the committee has been announced, but has not went to city council to be approved.
Gotcha.
And our understanding is that's going to happen those same dates that the placarding
23rd or
repeal
30th.
is. Yeah, yeah.
And that judge, that has nothing to do with the judge's ruling.
Nope.
The judge's ruling is really specifically on the placarding and the recording of.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that's just a seamless effort on their part to start this back over.
And start up again.
And start up
yeah.
again.
And I know we've talked about part of the issue with the city lately has been the inability to bring stakeholders in and decision-making process, already kind of having an agenda set up and just forcing it through. It sounds like this, from our discussion, is preliminary. The committee seems pretty stacked back to the way it was, where they're not having representation of owners, of building owners and things like that.
Yeah, Mayor Wheeler, this was Mayor Wheeler's idea to have this new committee, and he's washed his hands of it. And so it's actually Joanne Hardesty, who, her staff that's in charge of this. But what has happened is the same old thing that always happens, and that is that, there's 24 committee members, and 4 of those committee members are building owners.
Okay.
There's 24 committee owners, and 2 of those are the churches. So
who had a big issue with this?
Who
because
had
a lot
a
of
big
churches,
issue with
right.
this? Yeah. So you have less than 0.25% of the committee members, where the other 75% are. There's some community members and this and that, but it's just really astounding the ties to the city that a lot of the people have, as far as ex-employees, people that have contractors that have done
That'll
work for
benefit
the
from any of this,
city.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have issue with that.
And then, so for people that want more information, they can go to, Save Portland Buildings, the website below.
Yeah.
I know we send out as well, constant updates as to what's going on, but it kind of sounds like everything's kind of, next month will be a big kind of month in regards to what happens at City Council on the 23rd. Then if they don't do what they say they're going to do, and then it goes to the judge, and then again on the 30th.
Yeah, and I really encourage people, if they want to follow this, to go to the Save Portland Buildings website.
Okay.
And right at the very top it says stay informed, and you can put in your email address and you'll get
the
updates.
updated emails
Yeah,
that you send out. Okay.
absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming. It's going to be
Sure.
very interesting to see what happens here next month. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath, though.
Nope.
It sounds like we have I don't want to power, but we have now a judge kind of saying, holding the city's feet to the fire, but we know how that's gone before, so.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they navigate it from this point on. Hopefully they'll learn, and they'll include the building owners, because they're the ones that have to implement. So if you don't have the implementers involved, I just don't see how you get it right.
Right, it's statutes for nothing. So again,
Yeah.
well, thank you again for coming for the update,
thank you.
and we'll see you next time on HFO TV. Thank you.
Our entire office specializes in multifamily real estate, making HFO the largest multifamily brokerage in the Pacific Northwest. Your success is our passion. Build your legacy with HFO. Call 503-241-5541 or visit our website at hfore.com for more information.